I attended Iman Gadzhi's 5-day Make Money Online challenge, talking about the digital product industry and the massive opportunities it holds for those who take advantage. Was I taken advantage of? Was I led astray, run amok? Was I scammed? Were other people scammed? Or was this more valuable than I thought? Well, find out now. How I got into this challenge was actually a video from Iman's channel talking about how he just made the biggest investment of his life, and he was in New York talking about how he's now the new co-owner of WAP, which hosts and helps people distribute digital products. And he was talking about how I'll give you guys an opportunity to learn about it yourself and to eventually take action from April 27th to May 1st. So sign up below, and exactly what I did. And about 4 or 5 weeks after that, it was time for the challenge. So let's get into what the 5 days were about. I'll tell you my biggest takeaways from them. The reputation of Iman as this guru or scammer or con artist, and how that may play into the perception of this challenge, and whether he's selling a dream or he's running us amok. But day one was just about the foundations of the digital product industry, how you can start your own digital business in the next 5 days, and talking about what a digital product is and how many people mistakenly create too many broad topics, and breaking down the barriers that we think that, oh, but no one's ever going to buy a specific thing. But in the challenge, we learned that people can literally make money selling, like, instead of just a generic fitness digital product, people out there want to learn, for example, hey, recover to your prepartum body 12 weeks after giving birth. Like, that is so niche and only for a specific group of people, but people search for that, and how the opportunities are there. Don't fight in the red ocean. If you've heard of the book Blue Ocean Strategy, the red ocean is where there's so much infighting with the little fish eating each other up, but also the sharks who just dominate that space. Find your blue ocean and dominate and infiltrate yourself in there. The next 3 days, 2 through 4, would be about how you develop, distribute, and deliver digital products, with day 2 being about how you develop them. What was eye-opening about this day is that you have to really develop a lot of digital products in order to find that one. There's a clear delineation between people who get 0 sales and people who get at least 1 sale. And a majority of those people who get 1 usually don't stay at 1. And the people who stay stuck at 0 think that it's going to happen on their first product or their first few products. And we were taught that, oh, actually, you need to pull the slot machine many times. Thankfully, with the system that they were offering, or just using WAP in general, you can create digital products at will. And the only way WAP gets paid is, you win, they win. So no cost and low barrier of entry to be able to do this. But a lot of people give up because their first digital product doesn't have a sale, and then they don't take the time to develop others. And talking about how AI has made this so easy, where you can just plug in to an AI what you want the topic to be about and how you want to break it down, and how these products are just as simple as screen recordings of talking about slides and just reading off information and teaching people the transformation and the outcome that they desire. So pretty easy, might I say? Or am I being scammed? Am I being hypnotized? No, it did look pretty easy, and you can see oh wait, the opportunity really is there for people to make money online very easily, as the challenge was called. And here's where the first offer came. Now, he did tell us on Sunday, day 1, that he would make an offer at this challenge. He wanted to be straight up, but also anyone who's ever been part of a challenge of any sort, 3 days or 5 days, knows that it's low ticket, low cost, or in this case, no cost, and free to everyone to attend on YouTube Live, but it is a springboard for something greater. Not to say that it's all scummy and all wrong, but it's a springboard for something greater that the host wants to offer, and that he wants to give you the opportunity to take advantage of. And today was the first of those offers. It was one offer, but really just added layers throughout the days. And this was Monetize. That's what it was called. That's the program for his 90-day accelerator, whatever you want to call it, program, where they work with you directly, and that there are extra tools and resources that you get to take advantage of in order to speed up the process of this digital product thing. Instead of you trying to slog your way to it, it's a done for you process. And the first layer of this was his own artificial intelligence. And he talked about synthesize AI, which is his thing that he's come up with, and how, it's in the developmental stage, and that, people are literally paying $14.99 and $29.99 to be on the wait list, thousands of dollars, almost $3,000. But if you participate in this, monetize thing, this 90-day program, you get it for free. and it was $14.95. And you can see here on the chat when it was revealed to people that it was just L, man, I don't have the money. And you could even, hear as the informal Q&A part of the session went on, him and his co-host, Iman and his co-host, were reading off questions of people like, oh, what if I'm in school and what if I don't have the money? Man, some of us, are working late and all that. We don't have the opportunity. Despite that, though, they set a 500-person limit to take advantage of that offer for $14.95. And within several minutes and less than an hour.
Let me tell you how many are left. Negative 387. So we have 887 people who've already said yes, and we just dropped the link.
Do the math, $14.95 times 887, and see how quickly you could become a millionaire. Of course, provided you have an audience where 40 to 50,000 people can be on YouTube Live and take advantage of such an offer. But really interesting juxtaposition there, where you have the chat saying, L, Iman, man, you're ripping us off, man, you're a conner, what are you doing, man, I don't have the money, I'm only 16. And there's like almost 900 people instantly just took action and said, you know what, I'm tired of slogging away in my life, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, let me take advantage of this opportunity and see what's up. Again, do the math, $14.95 times 887. It's incredible. But that was the first layer of the offer, and what was interesting was how we were subconsciously being primed for the offer, because with every day came a workbook. Day one, there was no offer, and the offer was not presented to us of the monetized program. But in the workbook was a set of questions that you had to answer yourself and write down and see, make a commitment to yourself. What is your why? We talked about our why on day one, and he had us write down our why and make sure that your why is external of yourself, right? It's fine if you want ice on your wrist, or you want the cars, the house, the women, the etceteras, but make sure that your why is rooted in something and someone that you can do it for outside of yourself and to give back. But then what I found interesting was, can you commit to yourself for 90 days? What does that mean? Because we were not given anything for 90 days. I thought this was a 5-day challenge, and this is day one. Like, what do you mean 90 days? Like, yeah, sure, I'd love to make digital products, but what do you mean 90 days? And then when you get to day two, and when they make the offer for the first time, we're like, oh, we were being subconsciously primed to be in a more positive mental state or more accepting mental state of this 90-day program. Oh, no wonder why they were asking us can you make a commitment to yourself for 90 days? I found that very interesting, learning like the psychology of offers and like, oh, okay, this is how it works and stuff like that. And then his co-host, who we learned is named Jason Fladlin, who came on the Q&A informal sessions that were cut off from the live after, but if you stayed on, past like the 90-minute presentation, he was there talking and answering questions. And he's apparently made $250 million in the digital product industry, and is just like a webinar master and has been able to sell from webinars and teach others to do that. So we came on, and a big takeaway that I got from day two, which was part, wow, this is actually genius, part, okay, I see what's going on here. You're priming the people more and more to be able to take action immediately. He said, some people know the cost of everything, but the value of nothing. Money is never usually the issue. The issue is people believe they will not accomplish the thing they invest their money in. It's tough to look at yourself and say, I spent money on this thing and I failed, but we always fail forward anyways. So I was like, part of that is like, actually, yes, wow, you know what, maybe there's a good reason why, this thing costs $14.95, and, a lot of good things are expensive because they force you to take action so you don't just burn $1,500 right like that. And then part of it was like, oh, that's what he was doing. Oh, he's getting you in that right mental state to be able to accept the offer and to say yes to it. Pretty smart. Day three was the second of the 3-step formula: develop, distribute, deliver. And distribute was what Iman called the most important part of the process. And it makes sense because, when you enter this challenge, you're thinking, okay, digital products, amazing. Who is going to buy them and where are they going to get them from? So this distribution stuff was interesting. And we talked about how you got to package your products through a product page and a product video. And a page is just a WAP giving you a standard template that is applicable across all products on WAP. The key components of such a product are the heading, the video, then the call to action button. And the video is the most important part. And he said at this point that he has a way to generate top tier scripts for this, but what was the offer? What's the next layer of the offer? Iman also talked about distribution channels you can use, and the first one is search. We talked about the biggest search engines, and after Google, it's YouTube, and how you can literally make YouTube videos to link to your product. And it's like, you could talk about the 20 hacks for growing tomatoes, and not the 20 hacks most people forget that leads to them killing their tomatoes. And you can show 3 on video, and it's like, you want the other 17? Well, link in the description, then you sell it to your, or link it to your WAP page, and there's your digital product. So that's one distribution channel you can do. He said another one was social media posts, and how you could say 90% of home gardeners killed their tomatoes in 3 steps. And how can you create such great videos or such great social media posts to link back to your product page so you can get people to click on your product and eventually buy it? Here's another layer of the offer, which is his other AI, ghostwriter.os. And that is how you can script videos to go viral and script videos just for your ideal audience. There's another layer. The psychology of distribution, though, offer aside, was very interesting to learn, because you want to place your cookies, he talked about, in a food court where people are already hungry, and not try to sell it to randoms on the street who don't even want to eat cookies. And then there was some more priming in the informal Q&A part from Jason's end. Hard work is not how you win. Strategy is how you win. Being in the right vehicle is how you win. And throughout, several of the informal Q&A sessions, again, that were cut off from the lives, Jason in particular was talking about, there are multiple ways you can do this. You can, go and do it and use the details that we've given you, and you can go out on your own and figure it out, or you can have it done for you. The choice is yours, in more or less words, is what they were talking about. So again, more subliminal priming for, we're here for you. We got all the tools. We got Synthesize. We got Ghostwriter OS, and then they also offered, $250,000 worth in prizes for everybody who signs up for the 90-day monetized program. You could get a McLaren. You could get Rimowa suitcases, Rimowa luggage. And then 30 people would be able to get tickets to his free one-day mastermind with him at the WAP headquarters in NYC. So they were sweetening the pot. And, the more you listen, then, the more you've been primed subliminally to be able to take action and remember your why. And remember, you made that commitment on day 1 that you would trust yourself for 90 days. Remember, you want money freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. It gets pretty intriguing, doesn't it? Be sure to comment below your thoughts on things like these challenges, courses. Do you believe all these people or this industry is cooked beyond repair, or do you believe there is some value to be had in, taking the opportunity to accelerate yourself beyond what slogging away could, ever reap a reward for you? Be sure to let me know below in the comments, and be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. And then day 4 was the deliver part of develop, distribute, deliver. And day 5 was when they brought it all home and made that offer, which they still have open for a few more days. But one thing to go back to day 1, I did like the urgency aspect of things that they added to the offer in day 1, as if it would go away. And truthfully, we did not know whether it would go away or not. But the more you learn about like offers and challenges like this, you realize, okay, this is not going away. They're just going to add layers to it to sweeten the pot and sweeten the deal. But I like the urgency aspect of it. Like, at this time, there's only 500 people who can get in, and then more than 500 people get in, 887, within the first 20, 30, half hour, almost an hour. And they're like, okay, but until the live stream ends, we're going to cut it off there. So you got to take action now, or we are ending this deal for the day. That urgency, and it's not wrong at all, because you want people to be able to understand. Remember your why. Remember, you want money freedom, time freedom, location freedom. Remember, you want all these things. Well, bet on yourself and make a decision, But to go back to days 4 and 5, it's just bringing it home, ending with the deliver part of the digital product, but then mostly bringing it home about, are you ready to take action on your future? This is your future that we're talking about here. Your family, your livelihood, your kids, your this, your that, Are you going to do it for them? Are you going to take action on yourself? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines and watch other people win and observe what could have been and think, man, that could have been me? Things that I liked, though, that Jason himself called a productivity hack was pay for something and you'll become more productive towards it, because there's a cost toward unproductivity. These gurus, if you want to call them, these entrepreneurs online, the reputation that they have and the reputation that course selling has gets a bad name. But at the same time, why not accelerate yourself? Not just the fact that these people have gone ahead of you, and aside from all the free stuff on YouTube that they have for you, instead of scrubbing through all that and trying to pick up little nuggets here and there, the fact that it's packaged all in one place, one singular place for you with the most potential for ROI. I mean, why not bet on yourself? And why not bet on yourself not just with the fact that the information is all there, but the fact that you pay for it. When you put down $800, $900, $1,000, now you're like, whoa, I gotta make this $1,000 work. I gotta make this $1,500 work. Otherwise, I just burned $1,500, and I don't want to look myself in the mirror having burned $1,500. But Jason did talk about how people really fear failure like that. He said, if you've never succeeded, you don't know what that's like, and that's more scary than failing. Failure is all they know. It hurts, but they're aware of it, can anticipate, and know what to expect from it. They know what to expect from failure. They have no frame of reference for success. The unknown is scarier than the known, even if you know that the known is not the ideal circumstance for you. So even just removing the offer priming aside or the subconscious training aside, that's really good. Like, if you've never been at a high level of winning in life, then all you know is either mediocrity or the level below, which is failure. And it's like, you know at least what that's like. But we as humans just are so in love with the known. That's how God made us. We are so in love with the known that getting challenged to go to the unknown, even though we see the potential, we see that it's only 90 days or whatever sphere in life, it's only a little bit of commitment, right? It only takes you a few days of cutting off your day at 10 o'clock or 9:30 p.m. to be able to get into a true routine of waking up at 6 or 5 a.m. or whatever the earliest is that you desire. But the known of waking up at 7 instead of 6 or 5 and going to bed at 11 or 11:30 instead of 10:30 or 9:30 is just so much more enticing, even though we are aware of the potential and very likely success that lies on the other side of the unknown. So it really challenges you to think like, okay, even beyond this 5-day challenge, how can I apply this stuff in my own life? And it certainly challenged me in that regard. If you're enjoying not only this video, but other videos of mine on my channel, if you haven't checked those out, be sure to watch them after this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to not only this channel, but to a new newsletter of mine that I'll be putting out, where I'll be unlocking elite mental frameworks from top performers across all different spaces and translating them into everyday success habits for the ambitious underdog, like myself and like you. Link in the description. So a $1,495 offer, is that a scam? Is he trying to sell you a dream and then be a con artist? You know, this synthesized AI, this ghostwriter AI, all these AIs that he's developed, are they even that good, or this and that? You know, I came across a channel or a video of a guy who's saying that, you know, Iman Gadzhi is lying to you. And of course, I don't know how this video will do in comparison to that. Maybe it'll do as well, maybe God will bless it, but there's no doubt that negativity sells so much hotter than positivity in this generally positive review of mine of this 5-day challenge. But that guy was saying that, you know, it's all open source stuff. You know, here I just made a ChatGPT link of, you know, whatever, you know, the synthesized AI and the ghostwriter OS this thing is, you know, use it for yourself, and, you know, don't pay him $14.95. But what Jason said on the final day, because Jason was the one who was, you know, talking on the final day and was given the message, he's like, just accelerate yourself. You know, don't say, you know, I should be able to figure this out myself. You know, I can probably find this info for free. He's like, you know, would you rather slog for 40 hours or get accelerated for 1 hour? You know, 40 hours of struggle, or you button to skip for $500. Honestly, the proof is in the pudding. And if you, like, of all people to call scammers, frauds, con artists and all that, I mean, Iman has the logs on his channel going back to the 2010s when he was around my age, and even earlier than that, 17, and around that time of his life, and documenting his journey, building his way up. And he's done the stuff, and he's ridden the waves of these trends. He's, you know, done SMMA, you know, drop shipping as well, but he's been into the online money thing for a while. $1,500, for the done for you system where you plug and play just over and over again. And again, they mentioned that it's going to take several digital products to get that one sale. But once you find that one winner, that's all you need. So you just plug and play, plug and play, plug and play at no extra cost every time you regenerate a new idea. You could go to tomatoes or helping postpartum women go back to their pre-pregnant bodies. Just plug and play, plug and play. If there's no extra cost to do the slot machine, and if you have all of the advanced tools that have been tailor-made for this specific digital product thing and for creating basically VSLs for these digital products in a done-for-you system. I mean, if I was looking at this 9-10 months ago, I probably would hop on it. But I got my own things right now that I'm locked in on and that I'm focusing on, that I'm seeing progress on. So that's why, I already came into the challenge with, I know there's going to be an upsell. I know this is a springboard for something greater, and I will be very intrigued, but I'm going to stay off of it, and that's where I'm at with that. But for the hundreds and several thousand people who are going to take advantage of that opportunity, salute to them for being at the right place at the right time in their lives to be able to take advantage. And hopefully for them, they are committed to this, to be able to say, I'm going to stay until I get my first sale. Because really, from the information that we're given, that's all you need to get the ball rolling. And people make so much money in these niche communities, selling Fortnite maps, giving AI newsletters, and it's just so amazing, the potential of it. And really commend Iman for being able to give this opportunity to others, to take the risk in himself, because you always got to find what it looks like from the ultra rich, and for the really uber wealthy people, you always got to find those next risks in life, because Iman could just chill. Any of these top dogs could just chill and get complacent, and they would just have money coming in for life from all the stuff that is on automatic and all these automatic processes that they've set up for themselves already. But to take that leap to literally become a co-owner in this digital product company and to offer this to all the people for free, first of all, this foundational knowledge on YouTube, but I'm sure that there will be some millionaires. Like, out of all the thousands of people that signed up for it, you don't think there are going to be some millionaires who come from this? You don't think there are people who are going to strike the iron just right and have the max amount of dedication and the max amount of brains, right? Brains over bronze, and positioning and strategy to be able to make this digital product go boom for themselves and just hammer it into an eventually $1 million product or products for them? I'm sure there will. So for $1,500, the upside and the potential it has is pretty good. And even though it was not for me, it was great to get somewhat of an inside look into the history of the industry and how it's likened to, getting in at the right time. Imagine if Jeff Bezos gave you Amazon Intel and what it's going to be 20 years ago. And I can see where Iman is coming from that respect. So for those who take advantage of it, salute to them. For those who are dissing it, you better have something working for yourself in your life to be able to diss this thing. But, comes with the territory for all those successful people. And I'm sure Iman's not losing sleep over it. But it was great to get a look at, and I'm glad I took part in it.